So I'm just going to do a quick video here to document my recent sound installation here in the Art and Media Lab at the Isabel Bader Centre for Performing Arts at Queen's University. This piece is titled Echologia I. I've chosen to number the title because, well, the hope is to reinstall this in various locations to sort of get different results. So the piece itself involves the use of a device that is equipped with a variety of different environmental sensors. So we've got light, wind, heat, and humidity. I'll maybe try and get a bit of the device later, but it's a bit far away. It's sort of at the back of the building in the loading bay. So we've got the data from the piece patched through the building, through the sort of guts of the building, and I'll show you a bit of that in a minute. And that data is being fed into a computer in the back room. Here, we'll just go back there. And on that computer, we've got a super collider synth-def that has been built. All of this was done under the supervision of Dr. Matt Rogalski, my electroacoustic composition professor. So I don't know if we're getting a good, I don't know if that's easy to see through the camera. But anyway, so we've got the synth-def, we've got Plug Bidule here monitoring the 4 channels through which we're receiving MIDI information. All of that is pitch bend because if it was just sort of, I guess, normal MIDI range, we'd only be getting numbers from, I guess, 0 or 1 to 127, and that's pretty granular. So in this case, we're getting, as noted in the synth-def, between 0 and 16,384, or at least that's how Super Collider reads it, as like a positive integer. So yeah, here's the actual patching bay. As you can see, we've got that interesting little cable coming through, and we made a sort of XLR to MIDI adapter in order to get this working, since there isn't really like internal MIDI patching in the building. There's only sort of XLR that's meant for audio. But as my professor taught me, you can send MIDI data via a 3-pin XLR cable. So yeah, this is the result. We have this interesting and ethereal drone that changes over time. Specifically, the wind values give it a sort of LFO thing going on. The wind value is used anyways for sort of like low frequency modulations and changes. A lot of the more big changes that occur throughout the day come from the light sensor and the changing light conditions, as well as the humidity and temp. There's sort of like this one fundamental pitch that usually runs consistently through the installation, largely because we had to impose limits on the data that could come through. So there's sort of a window of temperatures. I think, can't quite remember what the top end of that was, but it goes down to about -7 degrees Celsius. Basically the synth-def would become quite unhappy and stop working beyond some of those ranges. So when the temperature outside is within the range, we get a pretty drastic change, I guess, within the fundamental pitch of the drone. And yeah, hopefully we'll be able to show this in other locations. That said, it's kind of hard when you're a young student doing this kind of stuff. A lot of galleries ask for large portfolios and professional things, which many of us do not quite have yet. But I guess we can hope. I think it's also worth mentioning as well that there's due to the placement of the speakers, there's also a bit of sort of like phase cancellation, and things sort of change as you move around the room in accordance with the acoustics of the space. There's obviously there's damping tiles up there. The space wasn't really designed as an acoustic space. It's mostly gallery slash video projection room. As you can see, there's a little sneaky window back there. Over there we're getting some interesting changes. But yeah, that's my piece. And I'm really quite excited about it. I learned a great deal. Alright, that's Greg Wilson signing off.